world? What's up, TradingView? What's up, Tube? We're up and running. I'm getting a little lag on my end on from like my camera, I think. So getting a little bit of lag. It's okay. I can still hear you guys. I can see you guys. Pretty sure the stream's good quality. It's just my voice is gonna be lacking slightly behind the actual stream. Just pulling up all the comment boxes, pulling up YouTube. We're up and running. Same thing on TradingView. And yeah, welcome to another chart mastery with Saber, with myself. And just going to be your standard chart mastery session. We're going to go over BTC, we're going to go over ETH, we're going to go over cryptos, we're going to go over indices, and then some stocks, some plays I've called out on stream in the last couple of weeks, how they're performing, and give you guys a general market update. All right. If you guys follow the stream, week on week, we're just building onto these charts, right? We, covered BTC last week on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And Friday's synopsis was we were getting a sell-off, right? We were getting a sell-off, and it looked like a retest of this trend line. And I highlighted this wick, right? And it coincided with a bullish 61.8 retracement off this last wick, right? And I said on that stream on Friday that as long as 60193 holds, right? If bulls were to create support over here, come in and buy up BTC, then we were likely going to see an up move, right? Like this was my initial support zone, and it held up, right? It held up fairly well, and now we're seeing an upwards extension, right? We're not quite past this previous all-time high, but it's trying, right? BTC's trying, and at this point, the next resistances, right? Possible resistances are going to be overhead, right? So I'd look out for 69K, 74K, right? These are going to be like the next two resistances that I'm seeing right now in terms of fib extensions that are overhead, right? Because we don't have much price action like previous resistance other than 66,982. That about covers BTC. You guys, thank you all for tuning in. Smash that like button while you are here on both platforms. Smash that like button. Let the algos give us a little push. We need it. Also, a quick announcement. You guys are in daylight savings. Where I live, we don't have daylight savings. So I'm moving the streams up 30 minutes. So instead of doing them at 12:30, I'm doing them at 12 on Eastern Standard Time, like New York time, Miami time. Just because for me, it's 1 p.m., right? And for me, it's actually later, but for you guys, it's earlier. That's what we get for being humans and messing with our clocks, right? All right, moving on. I want to cover Litecoin because I've covered this chart extensively every stream, right? I said, hey, like this thing's looking like it wants to do another push to like 220, 224, and it finally did it, right? We saw this push unfold over the weekend. For you guys in Discord, we tried several longs, and some of them got stopped out, some of them didn't. For the ones that didn't, like I shared my row, it's like up 800% for me on leverage, which is pretty awesome, right? That's a good swing. I did do a small take profit at 220, right? That was our next target. We do have two overlapping fib retracement levels, right? And I do think for a more complete cycle, we could see 294, right? Like if we see BTC breakout and ETH breakout, I would want to see 258 and 294. And ironically, on the sell-off a couple weeks ago, saying 176, I was actually asked about Litecoin. I'm like, hey, if 174, 176 doesn't hold a support, it's going to be in trouble. But if it does, then this chart's just gravitating upwards. We're probably going to knock out some previous highs. Let's take a look at Ether. My synopsis on Ether has been bullish, right? I've been saying we're likely going up. Which chart is this? Why does it look weird? All right, so I'll just refib this. And while I'm putting on these long-term fib extensions, you guys interested in how I fib? I'm doing like a webinar, and it's like a hybrid. In person plus webinar in a couple of weeks. I'll share more details on Wednesday about that. As of now, right, resistance has been, I guess the target, right, for this long has been 49.29, right? It has been since, I guess, over here. It's just the next sub-extension level up. And I'm just going to do some extensions on this smaller flag break, right? It kind of lines up 49.77. And from here, I think it's going to be a higher target, but the initial target on Ether is going to be like 49.29 to 5,000. Link Marine's doing the work. Yeah, let's talk about Link, right? I signaled that one in Discord, and it's freaking moving, man. Well, I mean, not quite, but it's pushing. It is above the 61.8, which is really promising, right? It's above the bearish retracement level, right? It's above 30, and then I think in larger terms, it's above. No, it's not. Well, that's our next target, right? $37. It is 61.8, so that's our next target on Link. That's kind of what I'm holding on to, or hoping for. I'm gonna cover Ripple, right? Because we did talk about Ripple extensively in the server. It did start an up move, and then it just slowed down. Let's do the USDT Binance chart, just because it probably has the most volume. Right, so the reason I'm liking Ripple now, I mean, I liked Ripple a lot during the Coinbase sell-off, right? Like when we went down to 20 cents. Was that it? Yeah, during the Coinbase dump, I said buy, we bought a bunch of Ripple spot. And what we did is we had a RVN run up, and I said, hey, take profits and just dump them straight into Ripple on this liquidity grab. And now it's at like 125, which is amazing. But in terms of like trend, it's looking like it's breaking, right? It's actually that, like it's totally breaking the trend. The short-term trend, the long-term trend, it's looking pretty pumpy. Now, it does get, I did say it does get trappy. It could be like a bull trap. But, over here on the sell-off just Friday, I said, we want to long it on one of these smaller dips, one of these intraday dips. And this retest looked really good on this chart. Like, what was wicks, right? We see price action like here at this trend line on the closes, right? Everything was wicks above, and now it's like wicks to the downside, like rejection. Now we're seeing rejection of the upside. So I do want to see a move up on Ripple, right? I want to see like 1.56, and there's another target up here, and kind of like what we're looking for on Link, right? The larger 61.8. So 1.412 would be 1.4 and 1.56 are going to be the next two targets on XRP. I want to talk about Shiba shipped. Yeah, we started shorting this because Diana on stream asked me about it. I said, hey, like, what do you think of Shiba, right? And I said, it's probably done. And then we fibbed it, and it was like right here at the 61.8, right? 76.08, the red line. And that was our first set of shorts, right? And then we took profit here. And then our second set of shorts was at the 50. And we took some profits like down here. And then it dumped. And then we took another short on this minor 61.8. And then we had another dump. So it's been fairly predictable, right? I mean, every 61.8 is rejecting. So I'm going to keep treating I'm just going to keep shorting them until they start breaking up, right? Until it doesn't work anymore, right? At this point. So, we had 3 shorts. And then over the weekend, it was Friday. I saw a friend of mine had posted, oh, Shiba popped up. I hope you bought more or something like that. And he's like, according to my calculations, it's going to rip in the next 2 days. And then right as he posted that, I saw this rejection, right? I saw the initial one, then I saw the secondary at the red line. And, as we proceed, we shorted it again. And it hit our target 1. At this point, I don't know if it's going to, like, break this trend line. If it does, I probably want to find another 61.8 to short. So it would probably be, like, this next one. 62.19, right? That's assuming it breaks the trend line. If you look at something like Doge, it never really did break that trend line, right? Like, It still hasn't. Well, maybe it has now, but if you go to the daily, right, it had like a really savage, painful sell-off, and I fibbed this one in Discord. There's a few ways to do it. We're just gonna do like a trial and error. No, that's it. This is the right one, right? So what happened here is on that bigger swing, it held the 61.8. It did a bull trap, right? It held the 61.8 initially, and then it did a bull trap, and actually I guess it broke that initial trend line, right? And why is this a bull trap? Because it didn't keep going up. It was totally a bull trap. Then it dumped like a whole nother fib level, right? But I mean, could we have gotten that short up here? A short entry. It's probably 61.8. Just like that, it's another one of my red lines, right? So that's why I'm going to keep shorting the red lines on Shiba until further notice. So if it does break the red line, I'm probably not going to long it. I'm just going to look for another short entry. Yeah, man, these hype coins. It's funny, they like try to justify, people get lucky trading these hype coins, and then they start sharing charts and trying to like be technical about it. It's like, you don't know what you're doing with charts. You really don't. You got lucky on a hype cycle, and please don't draw charts. All right, so we're seeing something similar here. It didn't quite break the trend line. So back to like that comparison, we saw the 61.8 hold, right? The bullish one. And then we're probably looking at the bull trap, right? And that's why I shorted it on Friday. We shorted here, right? So if this is the bull trap, then we could potentially be in for another big down move, which is nice, right? Like, that would be great. A 36% drop on 20x leverage is pretty. Yeah. All right. I covered the tickers I want to cover in terms of crypto. I do have like a little list that I put up right before the stream. Luna, let's go over Luna, because I did talk about it a few streams ago, and now we're seeing a break. What am I looking for? Like upwards targets, and what I think is next. I'm just gonna draw some extensions. This extension set is showing like way higher of a run. But if we run this last range, right, it looks like we're going to rub up on resistance shortly. So we want to see support resistance flip at 55.44, right? And I mean, we've seen cryptos do that. We see BTC enter this channel, go up, and then run up. But, 55.44, we're getting close to another, like, just take some profit on Luna when we get up there. Litecoin. I'll go over IOTX shortly. Cooley, thank you for the tickers on YouTube. Thanks, man. I'll go over those shortly. Let me answer that. I didn't do a full profit take on Litecoin. I did a partial, right? And the reason I did that is because I wasn't sure what was going to happen, right? If I wanted to let it continue, I took profit on a third of my margin position. My spot position is still fully open. And I want to see what happens. Litecoin has a history of doing these like blow ups past the Fib target, right? And then retesting them and like shitting the bed, right? Like, it's done this before. So I want to see what happens on a retest to 222, 220 before I buy back what I had sold, right? I did my take profit here because we have to lock in some gains, right? We caught a pretty big move. Almost like 800% on leverage. Like, that's pretty good, right? We want to take some profit on that. You want to send that money to a sub account, because if it does pull back, and if it does pull back like below 222 and does like a 50% retracement, right? We want to be able to buy back with house money, right? And if this was to like pull back halfway of this run, right, to 208, I want to be able to buy 208, and that's why I took profits. Not because I think it's over. I just wanted to lock some in while we're at a target and then reassess it in the near future. So I am happy with the take profit, yes. All right, let's look IOTX. Man, what why did this one pump? Was it like following mana or something? I need a more historical chart than this. There we go. That's way better. You guys see the difference, right? I can like not draw extensions off like old ranges and see where support is potentially. All right, so I mean, why is this not closing above 15 cents, right? I mean, it's still like the last resistance. It did like quick a little higher though. It does like these fib levels. I'm gonna extend this range to. I'm not. This is the new set of fibs, right? I know it's gonna come down in here. This is tricky. What I'm gonna do is just showcase where it is right now, and what we want to see, right? You definitely want to see 10 cents hold, like you really do, right? If not, then it's gonna violate the latest 61.8, and generally that's not a good thing. It actually looks like a really good entry right now. I mean, this thing has a history of violating the 61.8. Unless, like, if I go down here, yeah. So, ideally, for this run to continue and have momentum, you want to see 10 cents, like right here, where we are right now, turn into support, right? Is this a McAfee ghost pump? I have not tuned into McAfee news since the files never leaked. I even bought like McAfeeLeaks.com. Alright. What's up, Gene? ICP, I see a broken retested. Give me targets. Alright, we'll check out ICP's targets. Let me cover mover, PDEX, GLCH, and we'll hop into Gene stickers. And yeah, I also want to cover some stocks because shit's moving. And indices, because we bought some puts. We want to check on those. All right. MOVR. This thing looks like mid breakout, attempting to break out. Let me see. I like these charts. Nope, there's not even an older chart. KuCoin. All right, we're gonna stick to the Kraken chart. I tried. This is tricky. There's not a lot of chart data. All I can go off of is what we're seeing now. So you want to see 403 hold, right? It's definitely doing like a bit of a pennant, a flag, or not quite a rising wedge. It's like in a range. You want to see 403 hold, and you want to see 451 get taken out. And if it does blow past those and previous high, then definitely look out for 588 and 630, right? Like these fibs just line up. So if this thing takes off, I actually like this ticker. I'm gonna, and even IOTX, you guys hit me with some good suggestions. I'm gonna like maybe assess entries a little later. IOTX, MOVR. Then we can like see 558 and 629 take off. PDEX. I'm thinking you're going after the crypto on this one. Auto. Little sip. It looks pre-breakout. Can't confirm or deny. It could be a bull trap. It's trying to like break this sideways trend. I don't see a reason to short it right now, right? Also don't see, I don't know if this is a breakout's going to continue. I don't know if it's a bull trap. Yeah, you want to see $20 hold. You want to see $18 hold, right? But I mean, trend looks intact. What about the largest 61.8? Would be right here. Right, so if we take the highest swing high of this chart, which is 39, and we stretch it down to get our lowest swing low, like stretch our fib down to get our lowest swing low of this chart, Then we see resistance at 26, right? You guys can see that on my chart. I hope so. Let me look at my monitor. Yeah, you can see the clear picture. Great. Sometimes you can't. So now we know why the resistance is at 26.12. It's just the 61.8 of this major move, right? So just like I said on like LTC, or if you're in Discord, when XRP hit the minor 61.8, I'm like, hey guys, if this doesn't breach the 61.8, we want to short it, right? And it breached. When Litecoin did it, I said if it doesn't breach, we're gonna short it, and it breached, right? So these are the things you want to look out for. Is these breaks to 61.8, right? And that's what we're seeing now. And this one didn't break, so it's probably going to consolidate until it can get some momentum and push above. All right. GLCH. If I'm covering your tickers, if you hate my analysis, if you don't like me as a person, please smash that like button. Give us some love. This one's at target. 1.17. Let me pull up some Harmonics, see if the scanner picks up anything. Phantom's not picking up anything. Let's do yeah, I mean, it could probably push up a little higher. I don't know what's moving glitch, right? I don't keep up with a lot of alts. I like to trade a few select ones, things I'm intimate with, right? Charts I'm intimate with, instead of chasing a bunch of things. So do you think you can get up here, and then we have like a deep crab and maybe like a move down, but it's in a channel. It's looking, yeah, it's bullish for now. I want to talk about mana, right? You guys in Discord on this last mana pump, you know that I sold some spot mana. Mine, my sister's, like half our bags. We bought them at like 30 cents, right? I got my sister in at 30 cents, and it went up to $3. So the natural thing to do is what? Take a little profit, right? And yeah, I missed the take profit on like the original pump, right? But then on the secondary pump, I sold some at $3, and I'll show you guys exactly why. Might have been premature, but I wanted to secure some profits, mainly because we did that $3 mark, right? It was a minor 61.8 of the last swing, right? It's that red line. And that's kind of why I did that, because I figured if this is going to pull back, and, like I showed you guys what Doge did, I showed you guys why we reshorted SHIB, almost same thing. It's that minor 61.8, right? And if it's going to pull back, if this was like a bull trap, that was it. And getting out on a bull trap at $3 when you buy something for 30 cents, it's amazing. JP Brick House. All right, let me look up your let me look up ICP. Look at the daily. It's looking like a mover, man. It's doing like a rounding bottom type thing. I'm just gonna pull up the 61.8 and just highlight the next target, right? It should be like $68, so you should. I think you should see it move up to here. I'd like to complete a cycle, and until it does that, I can't say anything else, right? Until it does that, I cannot. Just like that's the pivots I like to trade, right? And this thing does fib fairly well. Like this swing necked at 82 and it pulled back, right? And we saw support at 43. So yeah, I think 68 is gonna be the next target. You owe me a burger for this. If you're ever in Puerto Rico, JP's Brick House and also in one makes really good burgers. Shout out. All right, Phil USD, Coinbase. Filecoin. This looks promising. I like it. It's trying to break. I'm going to add this to the potential signal. for post stream. You guys, thank you all for all the participation. Great energy today. Lots of tickers come in. I haven't even covered stocks. You guys just kept me like knee deep in crypto, which is fun. But it's going to be the last one I take, and then I'm going to hop into cover indices because it did say like, hey, we're so short. I did not close out my puts on the S&P. All right. If I was to take a trade, I feel like my swing target one would be 93 on fill. And then my initial target would be 69. But between those two, it's going to, like, we could see 70 and then see a big jump to 93. So this looks good. Let's go, let's look at, like, the major picture. Let's do, like, a Binance chart. Same thing. I'm going to take these wicks. Man, when I talk about fibs and closes, right? Like where you want to see the close and rejection above, below. It's so accurate, right? Now, yeah, we're seeing that move up. It's holding up like this shadow fib level is 6170. It's trading the support. I like it. All right. I'm going to cover indices. ES1. And then you guys keep shilling tickers after I cover stocks, crypto. After I cover indices, futures, and stocks, I'll come back to it. So before today's open, I posted two charts, ES and QQ, right? And I said, hey, you want to keep an eye on the 61.8. Now, the ES breached above, but it didn't close, and it did reject, right? But the NQ did not push past the 61.8. You can do like a 15-minute on these. So QQQ futures on my left. That's my left. And then S&P on my right. And we saw like initial rejection, right, at the 61.8. We saw rejection here on the ES at the 78.6, right? There's still a lot of bulls on this market, right? I'd like to see some kind of like deeper correction, but then I posted this S&P chart, and it looks like we could see like 471 before we correct, right? Because there's like just another target just above, right? 472, 471.75 before we pull back. But, looking at Friday's candle, it was a doji, right? I don't like going off one candle, but it was a gap up and a doji. And I figured, I bought puts on Friday saying this is probably an exhaustion gap. I was expecting resistance here. But I'm expecting what the market does are not always the same thing, right? So today, like midday, it's midday now, but like at a later point during the day, I put up this chart and I said, all right, so we kept our puts open. We kept our puts open on this fake out, right? And then on the second move, right, the second attempt to break up, I set up this fib and I said, if we get a close above 47.02, right, we're going to close out our puts. And guess what? We didn't get a close above 47.02, and we're seeing a little bit of a sell-off. I'd like to, the structure, it's 5-minute chart, but structure still looks intact. I think it would be nice to get like a minor liquidity move down to like 466 right here. I'd probably want to close my puts here, like just capitalize on a small drop and get out. You can't really stay short here unless we get like a major failed 61.8 before a bigger drop. Some charts we talked about, right, throughout the streams the past couple of weeks. American Airlines, it's in the money, right? It's in the money. AAL, we have $22 calls. It was doing this consolidation. It sold off twice, and I'm like, no, this is like a buy up. We should probably add. And sure enough, we added. It's at our target. We have a month till expiry. It's like the third, fourth time it tries to breach, right? And I think the next target here, the next take profit is going to be $1 up. But if it breaches through and like shoots up, which it could totally do, because airline tickets are 2, 3, 4x what they were last year, right? Like my flight, I was looking at business class tickets, and it's like 5 times more than what I paid last year. And inflation's up, gas is up, but like not 5 times. So it's gonna be interesting. You got the holidays around the corner. It's gonna be interesting. Another ticker I took profit on was last week. I took profit on Friday. I think I talked about this was Ford. I still see some continuation. I still have leap calls, like $23 calls for January 2023, right? Like, I mean, you see moves like this, you want to start positioning yourself in 100-to-1 leveraged positions, right? Which is what options are. Long term, kind of like trading futures, right? And $22 calls. It's above resistance now, so I think we can see 23 as the next pivot. And you know, because I'm out of my 15s at this point that I bought 6 months ago, and we sold them on Friday, being $5 in the money. I want to see what. Yeah, I'm just gonna hang on until 23. Twitter leaps, man. All right, dude. Twitter leaps. Yes. This looks. I was going over Twitter today with. I was showing my brother-in-law. I'm like, dude, like, I really like Twitter right now. And he's like, I don't see a reason to be bullish on it. And like, I just see like, maybe it's in my head. Maybe I see patterns. I hear voices. I'm dyslexic or whatever. I'm not, but you know, I see this pattern, right? That like, it looks very much like what we're seeing now, right? And this was like very early Facebook. Very similar accumulation pattern, then a parabolic run. Twitter is just taking a lot longer to play out. And ironically, like, I feel like this bottom, right, sort of looks like this bottom. Now, you know, Twitter's taking much longer to play out, but if it does, right, and we have these leaps, and then we get this, like, strong push, then yeah, totally, yeah. I didn't add today, but I added twice on this step. I see your ADA request. I'm gonna wait on that. I'm gonna cover IWM. Right, I pulled some profits on IWM today. Or TNA profits, just because like it extended. It's at target. I think we're gonna see a pullback, and profit is profit, right? Like we bought these TNA calls a while ago. They're in the money. I actually did like 2 plays on this, and yeah, we sold the high of the day. I took profit on the HOD on the IWM, right? And it was just this fib extension. I'm like, and that's when I saw the S&P starting to reject, right? I'm like, you know what? Like, it just gives me a little more confirmation that it should probably take some profit, sit in cash for a little bit while things are blowing off, like whatever pops up, sell off some, and wait for a retrace, right? QuantumScape, we've had these for a long time, and it's freaking pumping, man. It's moving hard, and they're profitable. They're super profits right now. We have $40 calls on QuantumScape, right? And this chart was really tricky, really annoying, and now we're seeing the run. And think about this one, it could get parabolic, right? Parabolic, it goes nuts. And we got a couple of weeks left on our calls, and yeah, I think a couple of targets, right? I think 40 was the next target, between 40 and 45, right? But 40 like definitely is, and a primary target, which is, yeah. So you know, I also said take some profit on these today because it could stall out for a week. It could stall out for a few days. You could have some negative news or something. Libarian on YouTube. Yeah, let me double check. I'll double check our whoever requested for trials on XABCD. Smash that like button and I'll push it up. Hi, I'm not gonna do it right now while streaming, but I'll check on it when I'm done streaming. Anyway, another ticker I talked about. You know, energy crisis, energy fuels. Mooning, right? Still flying. I mean, not quite like crypto mooning, but we're sitting on $7 calls in the money. So I have like 2 weeks to expiry. And I think our next target on this is 11. Where is it? Yeah. 1183, that last high, maybe 14. I'm not going to take any more profit on this one. I'm just going to let it expire. And if we have $7 calls and it expires at 14 or above, I'm probably going to exercise because that's a 50% discount. And we're likely going to see an energy crisis 2 years into the future or something. All right. ADA USD, thank you for your patience. Looks decent. Looks like it's flagging, right? It looks like it's a flag. Let me fib this. So my issue with this is it didn't quite hit 1.81, right? It held above. And I think for the market to be truly efficient, I'd like to see it come back here because I have an alert here, right? And I'd like to like long this dip. And if it doesn't happen, oh well, like I'm not going to chase it. But let's see if it's trapping right now. Is this a bull trap? Or is this a real breakout? Yeah, I want to see 2.12 get taken out by bulls, right? I think if it gets a close above here, I'll be less skeptical of this run, right? And it looks like on this thing, it looks like it's above, right? The minor 61.8. Disappointing, I didn't get my buy price just where I wanted it. It could run, it could not run. But the next resistance is going to be 2.12, that previous high. And you could even see like a little higher bull trap like we saw on Doge. And like the 243, right? And then it break back down. I'd like to see the 61.8 wrap up. How long do I usually hold what? My trades, my options, my I'm answering questions off YouTube. Dude, man, GoPro needs to freaking go already. It's frustrating. The company's performing really well. Management's doing really good. Market sentiment shit. That's the problem with that one. RFox, right? Red Fox, not looking so foxy yet, right? It rejected. Let's do like a synopsis. The whole story. I need like an announcer voice and like, this is the whole story of Red Fox. All right, so it's very FIB compliant, right? Like buying that 11 cents would have been great. Buying 12 cents going to be great, right? Like it's very FIB compliant. I like it. Now, what's next, right? Is this going to moon? Is this going to doom? I think, if it gets above 1.3, it gets above 13, right? And it's going to get to 14. And 14 is going to be like critical for 61.8 to breach before it can continue up. If it starts swinging up, if it starts an upswing, right? And then like, I feel like 14's T1. Write these down, man. Yeah, 14.8 is like T2. And then you want to see 17.852 break, right? For continuation. Or else like this would be a pretty good take profit. It just depends like how deep they are in the money for my options. I was asked how long to hold my options for. Sometimes I let them expire in the money. Sometimes they expire out of the money. And it just depends on the target, right? If something's target's 40 and it's at 38 today and expires Friday and market's looking shaky, I'm out, right? Like, or even if it's in the money, market's looking shaky. It just depends. But usually, like, we trade options that are like 1 week out, 2 week out, all the way out to leaps. All right, I'll go USD. Give my drink a little shake. It's like a powder that doesn't dissolve very well. Little chemist, some chemistry class. Oh, Algo's doing a nice move, man. Some nice candles. It looks like it's going to break out. A lot looks like it's going to break out. A lot of crypto does right now. Like we're seeing XRP make a move. Algo, 182 held, right? This Algo looks good too. You guys gave me some good tickers today, man. Either that or the market looks really good today. For now. it could all change pretty fast, right? But Algo is very Fib compliant. We saw 67 hold 1, 2, 3 times. We saw a run up to 182. Now I think if this breaks out, and it does have legs, like this is a heavy runner chart, and I think you want to see 215 get taken out by bulls, right? And if it does, then boom, 275. That's my consensus. You guys, if you've not smashed that like button, I'm gonna boot you from the next stream. Please smash that like button. Thank you all for your participation. If you guys don't have any more tickers for me, I feel like I've covered everything I wanted to cover, except for like SPCE, like Virgin Galactic, right? We did buy 19 calls on stream on this one. They're Decembers or Januaries, and it's looking like it's gonna turn around again. Branson has this thing, like as a CEO, I feel like he creates these massive dips right before something crazy happens. Like we saw this one, and then boom, right before the launch. So I don't know if he's got a trick up his sleeve, but I really liked it at 19. It seemed like a value buy, right? And that's kind of why I did that. Dude, what's the longest trade I've ever held? I don't even know, man. We've got some coins from like a long time ago still holding. Alright, fam, thank you all for tuning in to today's stream. It was fire. A lot of participation. I really like y'all's ticker requests, all the participation, everything. Thank you. Smash that like button again. Follow us on TradingView if you're not. Subscribe to us on YouTube if you're not. I'll catch you guys again on Wednesday, so like in 2 days, 12 Eastern, right? You're going to move them up 30 minutes because now Eastern's an hour behind me, so I don't want to do these streams like later in my afternoon. Once again, thank you, everybody. And if you want in Discord, follow the links from Trading